Hello, my name is Tenarium, and I am playing Katawa Shoujo. I cannot even begin to describe how many times I've been asked to play this ever since Jesse Cox did it. And now that I'm getting more into visual novels, I've decided to give it a go. What's the worst that can happen, right? So, without further ado, let's just get cracking. Come on then, let's hit start. Let's turn on my wistful voice and hope that I can skip along by pressing space. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. Oh, listen to that. The music, the joyful music. I can press space to skip, thank God, that's a godsend. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. Sure why. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy, far out of sight of teachers and fellow students. Why would anyone want to go there for summer? Ah, right, they don't mean now. They just mean during summer. My bad. But now, in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously to prevent from numbing from this cold. Just how long am I expected to wait out here anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 PM. So my name is Hisao. That's not too much for a hero's name, is it? Oh dear. I hasten to add I don't actually know anything about this game apart from it's sad in places. So, you know, I'll go silent if I need to cry. Oh yes, the note slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as cliches go, I'm more of a fan of the letter in the locker, but at least this shows a bit of initiative and originality. Although I could not have found it. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. The snowflakes silently falling from the white painted sky are the only sign of time passing in this stagnant world. This is very well written, isn't it? It's beautifully written. Their slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like the time has slowed to a crawl. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind. Look out, Hisao. Hi, Hisao, you came? A hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognise the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. That's not good, mate. If your heart skips a beat, that probably means that you're on the verge of dying, but sure. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turn to face this voice, the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race. She has come in very skimpy attire. Why are we both in that? I look like I'm in ballet shoes. Dear God, I assume that they must be used to it. Iwanaka? I got a note telling me to wait here. It was yours? Damn it. I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line and that was the result. Yes, that was slightly pathetic. Pathetic. My view summed up very nicely. Yes, I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle even if I tried. That's, again, usually a bad thing. Or signs that you're turning into one of the, 4 Incredibles. Was it the Incredibles with the massive rock man? I might be wrong. My heart is pounding now as if it were trying to burst out from my chest and claim this girl for itself. I never got my heart racy when, like, next to a girl. But I'm sure there's good reason. Oh, hello. Little switch. So, here we are. Out in the cold. Once again, the wind stirs up the branches. The cacophonous noise is music to my ears. I'll tell you what, I'm pretty sure that standing outside like that in those kind of clothes in snow in England would be against some health and safety regulations. Iwanako flinches ever so softly against the gust of wind. As it passes, she rights herself, as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine as she lazily twirls her long dark hair around her finger. Well, if that wasn't a sign that she likes you, you know. Well, I think it's kind of obvious that she clearly does like him, otherwise they wouldn't send a pink note. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out if I tried. You see, I wanted to know if you'd go out with me. I stand there, motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point. Alright, this is kind of like overreacting beyond belief to what a girl's telling you. Hisao? I reach up to try and massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain along my arms. Alright, you know, Hisao, you're excused. You weren't overreacting. This looks pretty bad. Hisao! My whole body freezes, save my eyes, which shoot open in terror. Oh dear. Oh, okay. Hisao! The beating in my chest suddenly stops, and I go weak at the knees. This is either the biggest reaction to a girl ever, or he's got something seriously wrong with him. And considering how sad people have told me this guy means, he's probably got some sort of life-crushing disease. The world around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter sky, Iwanaka running towards me, all of these fade to black. The last things I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Iwanaka screaming for help and the incessant clatter of the branches above. Oh dear, well that doesn't sound too good at all. Especially if it's getting to the point where you can't talk because your vocal cords are so tight and stretched. Yeah, that probably means you are quite buggered, son. Sorry. It's Katawa Shoujo. This has got to be one of the best made and well written visual novels I've done. I mean, she actually moves. Look at that. That's an animation there. That's an animation. That never happens. Well, they're thinking about it. This is where Hisao is. Oh dear. Well, if he's on the drip, that's not too good at all. There is a lot of credits. Can I skip this? Oh, okay, I can. It's the opening. The opening credits. I'm sure someone else will have it. It's been 4 months since my heart attack. It was a heart attack. Forgive me, Hisao. Oh dear, that music doesn't sound very nice, does it? God. In that whole time, I can probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is pretty long when you're left alone with your thoughts, so I've had plenty of times to come to terms with my situation. Arrhythmia? Alright, we'll just call that arrhythmia till someone corrects me for being stupid and pronouncing it wrong. A strange word, a foreign alien one that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition. It causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Well, definitely forgive you now, Hisao. You definitely weren't play acting, were you, son? Apparently I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. I think that's not a godsend. Surely you got to notice these illnesses as quick as you can. Oh dear. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better. More appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. Oh dear. I had already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Of course there isn't a cure. Of course there isn't a cure. Why would there be? It's a tragic game. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay out of the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. When I was first admitted, it felt like as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and the all the get well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realised that the only reason I had gotten so many cards... God, what's wrong with my English, damn it? I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because Sending me their sympathy had turned into a class project. Oh dear. I hope this is what he's thinking and not what actually happened. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning I barely had visitors, and by the end of the first month, only my parents came on a regular basis. What about Iwanako? Iwanako was the last to stop visiting. After 6 weeks I never saw her again. So that's quite a while, 10 weeks since speaking to her. Damn son. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on the snowy day ever again. I would say you could have just buckled up some confidence and done it, but look what happened the last time something like that happened. The hospital? It's not really a place I'd like to live in. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they're in a hurry and they have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel so uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way and told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. Of course, they didn't. So I idly observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of an omen. You're not getting out anytime soon, are you, son? I still asked the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answers shows that there is at least some hope. That or your death is imminent. Sorry, son. At some point, I stopped watching TV. I don't know why, I just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. Or maybe Jeremy Kyle came on once too often and you were like, no! I'm sick of this bullshit. Joke for the English there. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more of a storeroom for books. I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. Yeah, it's like a worm. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. Hope you're wearing pajamas. I really don't want to see you in that bed if you're naked. But I loved the stories. That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass, and I was trapped inside, instead of moving within. Well, if you spend 4 months in the hospital, unfortunately that's what it's going to feel like. A week could go by without me really noticing. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance that I'd set up for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while, look at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. Oh, that sounds horrible. But that only happened rarely. Oh, that's a consolation. And I couldn't even cry. Today, the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he's trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. That's a good thing, mate. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. Yeah, don't tell me you've just forgotten your birthday amongst this nonsense. There is this ritual the head cardiologist likes. He takes his time sorting his papers, then setting them aside as if to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. That's doctors for you. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks me in the eyes for a moment. Hello, Hisao. How are you today? I don't answer him, but I smile a little back at him. I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now, and with some precautions, you should be fine. We have all your medication sorted out. I'll give your father the prescription. The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. I'm getting out. Be happy. There's probably 100 million on that, though. So many. I take it from his hand and take a look at myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? Mate, your guess is as good as mine. The absurdly long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. They all blend together in a sea of letters. That's not good. This is insane. Is it heparin? Abnormal? No. I read abnormal there. Right in the middle to the little bit to the bottom to the left. That is not a tablet. They've just run out of tablets and put random words in. Nausea. Nausea is not a tablet. Vision? Vision isn't a tablet? Come on. I can just see all these words. I'm pointing at the screen. You guys can't see that. But I'm pointing at the screen. Nausea is there right in the middle. That is not a word. A word? Yes, it is a word. Damn it. It's not a medicine. Side effects, adverse effects, contraindications and dosages are listed line after line with cold precision. I try to read them, but it's so futile. I can't understand any of it. Attempting it only makes me feel sicker. All this for the rest of my life? Every day? I'm not going to lie, son, but I think there's going to be some sort of tragic news. And you probably, every day for the rest of your life is probably less than 365. I'm afraid that this is the best we can do at this point. However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that list fade over the years. Well, I mean, at least he's being optimistic and saying it's years. Years? What kind of confidence booster is that? I'd have felt better if you hadn't said anything at all. Also, I've spoken with your parents and we believe that it would be best if you don't return to your old school. No getting with the Wanako then. What? Please calm down, Hisao. Listen to what the doctor has to say. Calm down? The way he says that... The way he says it, sorry, tells me he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Hey, homeschooled isn't that bad. It reaps its benefits. Whatever of my concern shows, it's ignored. We all understand that your education is paramount. However, I don't think that it's wise for you to be without supervision. At least not until we're sure that your medication is suitable. So, I've spoken to your parents about a transfer. It's a school called Yakumako Academy that specialises in dealing with disabled students. Disabled? What am I? It has 24-hour nursing staff and it only takes a few minutes from it's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of students live on the campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. You know what, Hisao seems to be a bit angry about this and I think he's going to call it a special school. But come on, I mean, like, you have got an incredibly rare heart condition. There's only so much doctors can do for you, mate. Independence? It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise that fact. If it was really free, there wouldn't be 24-hour nursing staff, and you wouldn't make a hospital being nearby a selling point. Of course, that's only if you want to go, but your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you. We went out there and had a look a couple weeks back. I think you'd like it. It looks like I really don't have a choice. Compared to other heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. Why is it not appearing with my name? Look there, I think I've spoken. And they're replying to that. Just nothing's happening. Very odd. This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamn opportunity. Well, you should be excited at the chance to get back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school, and while it's not the same one, a special school. That's an insult. That is what I want to say. It's a step down. It's not what you think. All of the students there are pretty active with their own sort of way. Wow, Dad. The most wonderful reassurance talk ever. They're active in their own kind of way. Brilliant reassuring. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help in one way or another. Your father's right, and many of the graduates of the school have gone on to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. One of my colleagues in another hospital is a graduate. I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That's what a disability is. I really hate that something so important was decided for me, but what can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question. It's funny, I'd always thought my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell out something now. Something about how I can go back to school anyway. But no. I don't say anything. The fact that I know now is futile. I look around the room feeling very tired of all this. The hospital, doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this, but the thought of going to a disabled school? What are those even like? As much as I try and put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. But let me try. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. That is all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something, even if it's a special school. It's something. It's a fresh start. My life isn't over. It would be a mistake to just resign myself to thinking that. See, now he's coming around to my way of thinking. I like that. At the very least, I'll try to see what my new life will look like. And now I'm just going to be there at the school? Yeah. What is this? Act 1 life expectancy. Well, that doesn't sound too promising as a chapter. Doesn't sound too promising as a chapter at all. Anyway, you guys, let me know if you want me to continue this. I'll happily do so, even though it's sad. See, that's how much of a GR8 person I am. So, go on. If you want me to continue this, do let me know.